Congratulations. Congratulations. It is week 2 of 2022. You made it. A lot of you guys have started your New Year's resolution. A lot of you guys have broken your New Year's resolution. A lot of you guys are saying, man, I wrote that on my New Year's resolution, but how am I going to get there? Today, I'm going to help you. Let's talk about our boy Benjamin Franklin first. A lot of you guys might know him from the $100 bill, but he's known more for a $100 bill. He has a quote that says, if you fail to plan, you are planning to fail. So if you plan to buy a house in 2022 and you haven't planned to do it, then you are planning to fail. What's going on, guys? My name is Min Win with What's a Mortgage. Welcome to our channel. The goal of our channel is to simplify home ownership. If it's your first time tuning in, do me a huge favor, hit the subscribe or notification button so you're notified every time we go live or post new content. We go live Monday night on Facebook and YouTube at 9 p.m., Tuesday on Instagram, and we post content daily on Instagram and TikTok. So if you're not following us on all our other platforms, please go ahead and do so as well. Remember, this is an interactive live stream, so ask a lot of questions. And if you find any of our information valuable, please save this video, share this video, and like this video. Right, guys? So, what? Pull the microphone closer to you. Yeah. My bad, guys. So, I saw a lot of messaging over the holidays. Man, I want to buy in 2022. How do I buy in 2022? Today, I'm going to show you the 8 steps for you to prepare to buy in 2022. Okay, so it doesn't matter if you're buying your first home, your second home, or an investment property. Follow these 8 steps and it will prepare you to buy in 2022. Through the rest of January, I'm going to show you how to buy FHA, how to buy conventional in 2022, how to buy VA, and also how to buy your next investment property. So the next couple weeks, Monday is crucial, okay? So make sure if you can get a babysitter, go ahead and get a babysitter. Or you can watch this pre-recorded on our YouTube channel, all right, guys? So if you plan on buying in 2022, step 1 you must do, if it's your first time or even if it's not your first time, check out our Ultimate Mortgage Guide playlist. Yes, we have finally put together our Ultimate Mortgage Guide playlist. So if you want to understand how to qualify for any mortgage, conventional, FHA, VA, USDA, any down payment assistance, any program in the United States, they all follow specific guidelines. And if you understand the foundation of it, you can qualify for any program, even if it's not on our Ultimate Mortgage Guide playlist. Understand the framework will give you the knowledge to qualify for any program. Also, don't forget, you can go to whatsamortgage.com and download our Ultimate Mortgage Guide handbook as well. Through the handbook, we have worksheets in there. We have cheat sheets in there to help prepare you. You're going to see some of the cheat sheets tonight. But if you want, you can go to whatsamortgage.com and download it. We have our new version of 2022 coming out next couple weeks. So if you do download it, it is 2020-21 right now. But tonight, I'm going to show you where the updates are. All right. So that is the first step to buy in 2022. Even those triple OG people who've been watching What's a Mortgage forever, you can go ahead and download the guide as well. Also, go check out the playlist. Just to get a little refresher, never hurts to get a refresher. Remember, it's the biggest investment you are going to make in your life. You might be buying your first investment property, so definitely download it. That investor in you, it's going to come out. I can see it already, okay? So once you go step 1, you download the guide, you watch the playlist. Number 2, you want to solidify your income, okay? Even though you're going to buy in the summer at the end of 2022, solidify your income in 2021 ASAP. The sooner you do it, the easier it's going to be to qualify. If you are a wage earner, your W-2, you want to grab your last pay stub. That's why I'm telling you, the second week of January 2022, it's easier because it's going to be hard to dig for those pay stubs later on, right? You want to grab the last pay stub of 2021 if you're a wage earner. The reason why? The last pay stub breaks down your bonus, overtime, and commission. Of course, they're going to take a 2-year average of it, okay? But if you have that pay stub, it makes it easier for you to qualify yourself and for the lender to qualify you. If you started the job last year, Of course, you can't take an average of 2 years, but you can average out 6 months, a year, however long you had overtime bonus for or commission. But remember, if you don't have a 2-year history, you can only use your base income. All right, that's why you want to grab that last pay stub. You can either do it yourself or have a lender do it for you. You want to break down the overtime or bonus because some of you guys might get a pay raise before you buy your home. They're going to let you use your new pay raise if your salary or 40 hours a week, but you can still average out your overtime, bonus, and commission as long as there's a 2-year history. Doesn't need to be at the same job. You just need a 2-year history, okay? So you want to solidify your income ASAP so you know what you're working with. One of the main reasons why people fall out of escrow because their income was not documented correctly, so the lender couldn't do their job. If you want certainty in the biggest investment you're going to make in your life, you want to make sure you have all the income docs up front. And that last pay stub helps. The reason why, the lender doesn't have to order a VOE right away. Some lenders don't want to order until you're in escrow, but with that last pay stub, it helps the lender break down your overtime, break down your bonus, and break down your commission. Okay, for wage earners. If you're self-employed, you want to call your tax person. I know they're busy. They're going to be busy in the next couple weeks, right? You want to make sure they help you draft up a draft tax return. Don't write off everything, especially if you're going to go with a conventional 5% down, right? They go off a 1-year tax return. So they're going to take your income divided over 12 months. If you go 2 years, you might need to show more income. So you might not be able to deduct a lot if you want to buy in 2022. Before you file your tax returns with the IRS, solidify your gross income, right? Your net income with your tax person. Just don't file it yet. Don't add all the deductions. I know a lot of you guys want to deduct. No one wants to pay a lot of taxes, but you have a choice. Come in with a big down payment, take a higher rate, and go with a non-qualified mortgage. Or if you want to go with a conventional loan, go ahead and don't write off everything just for 1 year, right? If you do owe money, just set up payments. It's easy peasy if you do it before your taxes have been filed. Okay, so step 2, solidify that income. Have your documents ready, right? That last pay stub of 2021 and that draft tax return if you are self-employed. Step 3, validate your credit. Okay, I know. Oh, you always say don't use Credit Karma. I don't think you should use Credit Karma score, but use Credit Karma's credit report so you can see your liabilities. Credit Karma, credit.com, anywhere you can pull a credit report and get the full report. You want to check the balance, monthly payments. You want to split up the balance of monthly payments because you might need to pay off some debt to qualify for your dream home. And it's easier once you have that credit report. Don't rely on the score. So if you are sitting under 640, you might need a lender to check it. If you're above 640, chill out, okay? You don't have to rush for your credit score. You just need your balance and your monthly payments. And then also on your credit report, if your court order debts aren't there, you want to add those, or government order debt. What are court order debts? Child support, alimony. If you lost a lawsuit and you have to pay monthly, add those monthly payments to your debt to income ratio. Also government order debt, right? If you owe the IRS, the state, if you owe money that you have to pay, make sure you add those payments if they're not on your paycheck and they're not on your credit report. Because if the lender catches wind of it, you might not qualify. You want to be upfront with them, okay? So once you have your monthly payments and you have your credit report and you add your court ordered and your government ordered, then you want to look at debts you might be able to eliminate. So when you talk to your lender, hey, that's not my car payment, right? My cousin pays for it. You need 12 months canceled checks, or there's less than 10 payments left and you're going conventional. You can omit it, right? Also, if you have collections under 2,000, over 2,000, they need to recalculate it. If you have student loans, the lender needs to know, right? Some student loans, if it's an income-based repayment, you get hit 0. If it's in deferment or in forbearance, they're going to add half a percent to the payment. For example, if you have $30,000 in student loans, they're going to add $150 a month. Yes, they've toned it down. Before they'd hit you with the full $300 a month. So it gives you more buying power. But you want to have this information ready if you want to talk to a lender. For me, call me old school. I know a lot of lenders might hate me for saying this. I don't like to pay to get for credit to be ran, right? When I was running credit as a loan officer, I had to pay for my credit report. I would want the consumer to bring me their Credit Karma, bring me all the income documents, all the tax returns, and I calculated manually, right? Of course, if they have a lower credit, I'm going to have to run credit. But if you have smoking credit, it's going to be smoking when they run it. So why knock that hard inquiry, right? You want to make sure it's where you want it to be. You have every right to know where you qualify for without someone dinging you on your credit. Okay. So make sure you have that step 3 ready. Step 1, you download that guide, you check out that playlist. Step 2, you solidify that income. Get that last pay stub. Get that draft tax return. Step 3, you run that credits, right? Get that credit report. Remember, don't stress out about the credit score too much unless it's under 640, right? You want to see the full picture. Step 4, budget it all, right? Step 4, you're going to average out your gross income. Remember, if it's salary or 40 hours a week, you're going to be able to use a new income. That's why you don't want to look at, when you look at your pay stub, your last one, you just want to average out the overtime, bonus, and commission. And remember, if you're self-employed, you can go off of 1 year self-employed if you are going conventional. If you're going FHA, VA, you're going to need 2 years, okay? So once you know your yearly gross income, you divide it by 12 and you times it by 45% if you want to be conservative. Some people think 45% is not conservative. You pick, and I'll explain to you in a second, okay? So take your monthly gross income, right? Take your yearly, divide it by 12 for your monthly, times it by 45%. And then subtract all your monthly obligations in step 3, right? So here's an example. If you made $10,000 a month, just use an example, and you times it by 45%, which is $4,500. Let's say you have $1,500 in student loan, car payments, and any other credit debt, right? Credit debt, government order debt, court order debt. So after you subtract the $1,500, your budget's at $3,000. So if you made $10,000 a month, you times it by 45%, you have $1,500 a month in obligation. Now you know your mortgage payment budget is $3,000 a month. So you can say, hey, that's not enough. So once you play with the numbers, you might need to eliminate some debt. And we'll talk about rebalancing in a second. Okay, so that's step 4 is set your budget. If you don't want to go with 45, you're like, hey, I have a co-signer. There's someone who's going to help me with the payment, but they can't go on the loan. I want to go with the higher DTI. Check this out. The DTI cheat sheet, right? So take your monthly gross, times it by either 40% if you want to be conservative, 43, 45, 50, or 55 for the aggressive people who want to go FHA or VA or USDA. You can FHA or VA. Okay, so I left a little number for you right there. So your annual household income, if you don't know how to calculate it, divided by 12, times it by either 40, 43, 45, 50, or 55. All right. So for those of you who want to be aggressive, I left you the 50 and 55. But remember, those are going to be FHA programs. Okay. If it was me, unless you want to live on top ramen, I'd stay in that 45. Right. So once you know the down payment, and once you know the monthly, your monthly budget, next thing is figuring out the down payment. Okay. So here's your down payment cheat sheet. So pick an area you want to buy, right? And times it by percentage. Do you have that down payment? Or when can you get the down payment, right? Based on 3% down for conventional, 3.5% for FHA, or 5% for FHA or conventional, 10%, 20, 25, depends if you're going with an investment property, right? Decide, eyeball, what do you have for your down payment? What can you save? How fast can you save it? Can you save it quick enough to buy this year or next year? Every year you don't buy, remember, inflation pushes up the payment. Also, appreciation pushes up the prices. All right. So once you know the dollar amount you need to save, step 5, make sure your money is in order. Okay. Always check. Make sure your money is in order. Are you drawing from your retirement? Right. If you're pulling out your 401k, can you draw from a loan or a hardship? Some custodians only let you draw as a hardship. Some of them allow both. You want to make sure all your money's in order. Remember, when you're pulling from your retirement, it takes a couple weeks. You want to budget it correctly in case you need to go to your custodian and ask for more or get the right amount so you don't have to go back 2 or 3 times because it's going to stall out the closing. So you want to make sure your money's in order. If you're getting a gift, whoever's gifting you the money, make sure you can get your gift sooner than later, right? Don't wait the last minute to get the gift because then you might have to source it on a government loan. On conventional loans, if they wire it to escrow, you don't have to source it, okay? If you have large deposits, if you're going to buy within 2 months of closing, you might have to source some assets. Be ready to explain these deposits that are non-payroll deposits, all right? If you're self-employed, completely different story, okay? But if you're not self-employed, they're going to ask, where is this money coming from? They want to make sure you are not a straw buyer, Okay, so make sure your money is in order. So those of you who are buying with equity, okay, the next slide. You want to source your equity. Are you doing a cash out refinance? If you're doing a cash out refinance, did you go owner occupied? If you did, you might have to wait a couple months to buy if you do a cash out. Are you doing a home equity line of credit? What is the interest rate on it, right? What are the terms of your HELOC? Make sure you know that information. Are you selling a house to buy a house? That means you need to get a seller's net sheet. Make sure you talk to a selling agent. Get that seller's net sheet. You want to know, to get from point A to point B, you want to know the costs. What is it going to cost you to sell your house? Don't think in your mind, ooh, I have $100,000 in equity. I have $100,000 to get to my next home. Minus cost and fees, you might not have $100,000. It might not be the payment you want. So make sure you budget that information correctly. Okay? And for those of you, gift of equity, how much equity is left in the house? So if you're buying a house from a family member and there's equity in the property, it's called a gift of equity. Okay, so let's say the house they're selling to you for $400,000, but it's worth $500,000. There's $100,000 in equity, right? Find out how much the seller wants back. Let's say you're buying it from a relative. Do they want money back? Okay, if they want money back, there's options that you can do as a refinance or as a purchase. Save yourself some money, right? What programs are you going with? Are you going to FHA, conventional, different programs? Remember, you can only go owner occupied if you're doing gift of equity. There's other ways, guys. I know people don't like to talk about this, especially with realtors saying it. When you get a home from a family member, you don't have to do it as a purchase. You can do it as a purchase, but if you do it as a purchase, I do recommend you do seek a realtor to get some legal advice, pay him some money, but you could refinance it from a family member to a family member and avoid all the high purchasing costs, right? I said that. You can refinance yourself onto the property as long as you're doing owner occupied. Okay, avoid all the high fees, high costs of doing it as a purchase, but as a refinance, it is affordable. Are you getting a home from the family member or grandparent? Inherit the property taxes, so you pay lower property taxes than the new taxes, right? It's really important that you guys make sure your source, your equity, and your gift of equity all in order. So those are the steps. Steps 5. Step 6, put it all together. Okay, so you can go to techielender.com and put it all together. So I'm going to do an example here for you guys. Let's do some examples really quick here. So once you figure out your gross income, right? We go here, Techie Lender. Let's say scroll down here, so you can scroll all the way to the bottom. You can turn on this option. It's called the qualifier. Set your DTI, right? Annual income, let's say $100,000 a year. Any debt you have, this is credit debt. Remember, it's debts on your credit report. So any monthly payments on your credit report, right? Any court-ordered debt, any government ordered debt, right? Child support, alimony, right? If you owe the IRS, add those monthly payments, okay? And then, voila, it sets all your DTIs for you. If you want to do down payment, you can go ahead and do that in there as well, okay? How much you have for your down. So let's say right now, 45% DTI, right? That's how I want to keep it at. $100,000 a year, $1,000 a month. I put it all together. So let's say today, if you want to know where interest rates at, definitely either DM us or check our Instagram daily in the morning. We normally put our rates on there. We're average rate nationwide, or you can go to Optimal Blue, right? Conventional. Let's go owner occupied, right? The investment button we're still working on, but the owner occupied one, right? Pick the county. Let's go outside to make it easy. Let's say I want to buy a house for $500,000, right? $500,000. Rate right now is 3.75. Rates have gone up 5% down. Okay, 5% down is $25,000. Loan amount is $475. This stuff will populate automatically. Like your hazard insurance, put no. Property tax. If you're in another state outside of California, Google your county tax rate. You can go to a website called smartasset.com and put in your zip code, and they will tell you the average tax rate in that county. But here, Cali is 1.25. Mortgage insurance, you can look it up by the scale here if you want. But I know for 2 people with a 740 credit score, it is going to be 0.44. Boom, I got it. It calculates all your payments for you. It's $29.57. $29.57. I scroll down here, and it tells me I'm over by $200 a month. Okay. So I need to drop the purchase price. So you either can bring in a bigger down payment or drop the purchase price, which is step 7, rebalancing. Okay. If you use the calculator or you talk to your lender, hey, it doesn't work. Step 7, drop the purchase price, bring in a bigger down payment, pay off debt, or add a cosigner. Remember, I would only add a cosigner if I know I can afford the payment. They're just not using all my income. Okay, go back to Techie Lender. Then you want to go back to the drawing board for 207, right? So let's say I want to drop the price to 400 grand. Just using an example here. 400 grand, see, 400. Scroll all the way down, and it says I can afford the payment. I have an extra $384, so now I can work up, right? So I want to go more than 400. I can scroll up, go to 450, scroll back down, play with it. Like, let's say rebalancing. The first thing is drop the purchase price or pay down some debt. I have $1,000 a month in debt. If I eliminate debt, I might be able to afford the higher home. See, $88. So I'm in the green. So I know that 450 is in my range. Okay. So once you go through the 6 steps, step 7, rebalance everything. Make sure you qualify, right? If you need help, watch this video again. And step 8, the most important step, follow us on all our channels: Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and LinkedIn. Hopefully you found this information useful and it prepares you to buy in 2022. Remember, this month we're going to go over how to buy FHA in 2022, how to buy conventional in 2022, how to buy VA, how to buy your second home. So we will be going through this over and over again. So if it's your first time, like, man, this was a little over my head, download the guide, check out our playlists. Also, follow us, follow these steps, and watch in the next couple weeks. And I promise you, you will get the hang of this. If you're a teacher out there, tell your school, hey, why can't this What's a Mortgage guy come speak there? Because our kids should have learned this. I should have learned this when I was in high school. All right, guys? If you enjoy this content, do me a huge favor. Save this video, share this video, and like this video. All right? Let's get some Q&A here, guys. All right, don't forget, guys, if you have questions, give us a call, 714-790-9697. If you need help with steps 1 through 8, right, give us a call, text us, or just message us directly. Let's get into it here. What up, Mian? How you doing? Hi, Jolene. Hi, Jolene. How you doing? See here, chat. Ready? No, give me a second. All right, let me see here. What up, Jolene? What up, Rose? Top Ramen. That's right. What up, Ricky? More like every month. What up, Jack? How you doing? Hopefully you're having a great night, Jack. So you're thinking about using it from your 401k, right? Using your 401k. What are your thoughts? So, Jack Robbins, great question. Annie, Jack Robbins, great question. What are your thoughts on using your 401k as a hardship? So when you draw from your 401k, the hardship is okay, but I would look into a loan. When you draw it out as a hardship, you can drop to $10,000 without penalty, but anything over $10,000, there is a 10% penalty. So if you draw 15 grand, you're going to pay $500. Also, you're subject to income tax on that 15 grand. There's a 6-month cool off period where you can't contribute to your retirement. So that's why hardship, I would make it my second choice. As a loan, you can draw up to 50%, up to $50,000 of your contribution. Okay, there's no cool off period. The interest goes back to you. It's typically a 20-year loan. A standard 401k loan is a 5-year, but for a mortgage, 15 to 20 years. Interest goes back to you, and there's no cool off period. So I would look at a loan option first, right? Because your money will still compound as a loan option. As a hardship, you lose that money. All right. Hopefully that helps you out. Try a loan. If it doesn't work, then look into a hardship. But at least you're doing something which compounds faster than your 401k, which is a home property, which is a property. All right. Hopefully that helps you out. You get that, Andy? When do you think what paper comes into play? When you think of it, when you do a 401k, you are going to fill out a form, and typically it takes some paperwork to get through it. So definitely you want to talk to your custodian, get the paperwork, don't put the dollar amount in there until you talk to a lender and balance out how much you need for your down payment and closing costs. Hopefully it helps you out. Nicholas, what are the FHA refi rates right now? FHA, depending on credit score, if you're above a 660, 680, you're probably looking today on the West Coast about 3.25. APR is probably 3 and some 3.4 something right now. Right? If you want an exact quote, Nicholas, please give us a call. 714-790-9697. What up, Nick? How you doing, brother? What's going on, Nick Farah? How to properly budget for closing costs. So Nicole Farah, how to properly budget for closing costs. So here's a rule of thumb. Closing costs is typically between 2% to 3% of the purchase price. If the purchase price is under, I say, $350, you're probably looking at the full 3%. Over $350, probably between 2 to 2.5, depending on when you close. Of course, when you close in November, December, when impounds are high, they can be a little higher. Okay, so I would budget around between 2 to 3% of the purchase price, Nicole. If you don't have the money yet, ask the lender, see what rate you can take to get a lender credit. Hopefully that helps you out. What was the website named again? It's Techie Lender, TECHLENDERY. TECHLEND. TECHYLENDER.com. My bad. Beatrice, I refinance in November. How long do I have to wait to buy investment? If you did do a cash out, I would give it. You're supposed to give it 1 year, but I see people get away with it between 3 to 6 months. All right. Definitely talk to your lender, get pre-qualified for your purchase. They'll probably be able to tell you right away. Guadalupe, what's going on? Yes, so 82,000 divided by 12. Yes. What does this mean? So that means, howdy, men. So 82,000 divided by 12. Let me do the math here really quick. 82,000 divided by 12, which is 68, 33 times 45%, 3,075. That means your mortgage payment, tax and insurance, if you have no debt, cannot go over $3,075. If you have debt, take the $3,075, subtract your monthly credit debts. Whatever's left over is your max mortgage payment. If you want to be conservative in the 45%, okay? Choo-choo, yes. Every county has a different loan limit. Definitely look up your FHA loan limit ASAP. Jasmine Rodriguez, what is a lender credit? A lender credit is when a lender, back before 2013, I could be wrong, when a lender sells you a higher rate, they make more money. So the laws change no matter what type of loan they give you, what credit score you have, they get paid the same. Okay, so if they give you a higher rate, that money doesn't go to the lender, it goes to you towards your closing costs. All right, hopefully that helps you out. So if you decide to take a par rate, which is a fair market rate, a fair rate, you won't get closing costs. But if you increase the rate, the lender doesn't make more money, it goes towards your closing costs. Hopefully that helps you out. Quentin, what to look for in a lender saying they can go no closing costs for a family? Typically, when they say no closing costs, they are giving you a higher rate to cover the closing costs. Yes, there are deals out there where the lender might not give you a higher rate, but typically everyone's got to eat. And the way they do that is they give you a higher rate to cover your closing costs. All right, hopefully that helps you out. All right, guys, I really appreciate everyone who watched our show today, everyone who saved this video, everyone who shared this video. If you watched to this part right now and you have not followed us, please hit that subscribe or notification button, right? And we want to end all our episodes with our attitude is gratitude. Without you, there would be no us. So thank you guys so much and have a great night. Let's see. But still the same amount, effective date. Still with the same amount is their effective date. Choo-choo, I don't know exactly what you're trying to ask. The new loan amounts are not updated for FHA yet. We have to go in there and do it. This is just a sample, but I will have my boy James go in there and do it this week. All right, choo-choo, the new FHA loan limits are not updated yet and conventional, which we got to update this week. All right. Lender and buyers red flag to avoid. Red flags to avoid, Nicole. What are there any tips, sheets, or links available ready to read? Yes. Go to whatsamortgage.com, Nicole, and download our ultimate mortgage guide. It has everything you need for you to go ahead and read it yourself and understand the process of buying a home. Lender is waiting not lock the rate until close to the date. Why? I don't know, because maybe rates are high, Zori. I don't know. I wouldn't wait too long. We don't know. We don't know where rates are going to be. Maybe because they sold you a rate and now you might not qualify. I don't know. Talk to a lender ASAP. All right. Talk to your lender. Say, hey, do I not qualify? Uh, if I don't, let me know. Don't. Why are we waiting? Maybe because it's far away. Maybe you're not closing for another 5 or 6 months. It might be worth it, right? I don't know. I need to see more of your scenario. Please give us a call. 714-790-9697. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much and have a great night.